first
Yeah.
of all, grown men need to be grown men, and women need to stop trying to save them. We're so busy trying to rescue grown men, and that we are raising people who are irresponsible, and we are allowing people to continue to be irresponsible.
Hear me, yo. Watching how them opera boys get sentenced. You know how the fuck's going on, man. Y'all boys tuned into that Oouchie court watch. Well, we taking it straight from the jail cell to the judge. You mean judge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Is anybody else having sinus issues with this warm weather 1 minute, the cold weather the next minute? Flowers blooming 1 minute, freeze the next?
Yes, ma'am.
You even sound like a little bit Miss Right. You even sound a little congested. I thought it was just me. All right, Mr. Samuel.
Yes.
All right, so you're before the court on case 2025 CR 01175. Clint Randolph Samuel, Clint Randolph Jamar Samuel, I think is what it is. It cuts off part of it. But you're before the court for criminal trespass. You're represented by the law firm of Lister Holt and Dennis. Mr. Taz Taylor is with you on at the podium. Raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
So yes.
All right, you can put your hand out. So, Mr. Taylor, what does your client plead to the offense of criminal trespass in this case?
Your Honor, my client pleads no contest to the single offense, and this is non-negotiated, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Samuel, by entering a plea on the criminal trespass case, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. You understand all of these things, sir?
Yes.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On January the 10th, 2025, officers responded to 639 Garden Walk Boulevard, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. When officers arrived on scene, they made contact with the Andreas Betty, and I'll spell that Arnetress. Last name is Betty, Beatty. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. There was a verbal altercation leading to the defendant breaking the property of the victim. It's my understanding that the offender took a plate and broke the plate. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is as follows. My understanding that the defendant has been in custody since January the 10th. The state's recommendation is 12 months probation, to serve 30 days credit for time served, balance probated, a $300 fine, suspended, 40 hours of community service, and to have no violent or harassing contact with the named victim.
All right.
And the balance of probation can suspend upon completion.
Okay. So, what's the relationship between these people, Mr. Taylor?
It's a romantic relationship. They're dating, but they they don't have a formal.
All right, so, Miss Betty, are you, present?
And Your Honor, they both live at that location where the incident occurred.
Mr. Arnitris, Beatty? All right, unmute for me.
Yes, can you hear me, Your Honor?
I hear you just fine, ma'am. Is there anything you wish to tell me about this situation?
Okay. I'm sorry,
Can
you said,
I said, is there anything you wish to tell me about this situation?
I just saw at the time, he destroyed my property at the time. And I didn't want him to destroy, anything else in the house. So,
All right, are
I,
y'all living together?
yeah, we living in the same apartment. The apartment is in my name only, and he has been allowed to stay there. I just didn't want him to feel the freedom or have the feel the freedom to destroy my property at will.
Okay, so ma'am, so because we're not there in the place with you, the only thing that the police do is respond to a crisis or an acute situation. Now, whether he is there and y'all are in the kind of relationship that works, that is nonviolent and is companionable, that's up to you all. If you don't want him back in your place, that's one thing. That's not something we can handle here. That may require an eviction. But what I don't, I mean, it's something we can handle here. If you don't want contact, then he'll be banned from the location. But what I'm saying is, we're not here for to smooth relationships out. If you
Well, ma'am, we're not in a relationship by any means. That was in the past, but I have been trying to assist him getting on his feet, and which I think is most important. That don't I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Okay, all right, hold on, Miss Beatty, because this is a particular issue of mine. First of all, grown men need to be grown men, and women need to stop trying to save them. We're so busy trying to rescue grown men, and that we are raising people who are irresponsible, and we are allowing people to continue to be irresponsible. Now he looks good and old. He don't look like he's in his 20s. So by now he should have learned how to deal in a particular situation. You rescuing him, talking about we don't want to send the baby out with the bathwater, is sacrificing your peace and calm. If somebody can't live in companion with me and I'm allowing them to have a place to stay, then I'm not putting up with that. And there's too many women in this world who we're so busy coddling and babying grown men and trying to worry about what they're doing. I'm looking at you and I can tell you got a job, you take care of your bills, you take care of yourself, you got a household that's in your name, you doing stuff for yourself. Why isn't he doing the same? Why are you holding him up? So this whole, we used to be in a relationship, but I just don't want him to get in trouble because I want to hold him up and help him get on his feet. He grown. If he can't do what he needs to do for himself, you need to stop babying him, because we're not here to make sure he's not going to break up your stuff. He's going to break up your stuff, and then the police will respond afterwards if he has a tantrum the next time. But what I'm saying to you is, why would you allow that foolishness back in your house? As Maya Angelou said, if somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Why would you deserve so little that you got to provide him a home and put up with his tantrum? When have women started to see themselves as so little that we got to put a man on our back and walk him around?
I think I'm always kind of been by nature like a trainer and a developer, and
Well,
I
then
don't feel
train
like,
him
and
and
I don't feel
develop
like I'm
him.
coddling him.
You
I
are.
feel like
Why he don't have a house?
I'm sorry.
Why he don't have a house?
Well, I mean, you'd have to ask him, but I just feel like he's not taking care of what he needs to take care of. Because if you really want a house, you're gonna do what you need to do to get one.
Exactly. But what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
is, while you're not taking care of what you need to take care of, I'm gonna hold you up and I'm gonna let you live in my house and mess up my peace of mind. That's what you're saying. That it's okay that you're not doing what you're doing. I'm being a responsible adult and I'm doing everything I need to do to take care of myself, but you're not. But I'm gonna hold you up and help you while you be irresponsible and I'm being responsible. That is doing nothing but coddling people and continuing to make them irresponsible. Let Mr. Samuel stand on his own 2 feet and figure it out. He's too grown for you to be carrying him. So this whole, I just feel like people should be trained. Okay, well, if he's in a training program and you're the trainer, that's one thing. But if he's in your house breaking up everything and he's destroying your peace, why are you putting up with that? And you
Well,
paying the bill.
and the thing is, if he would, I think the pros and the cons. I'm weighing the pros and the cons. He's been more of good than he has been bad. But I'm like a no nonsense, kind of person. Like
No, ma'am,
when
I'm
I
no
saw the
nonsense.
destructive, I'm sorry,
You putting up with nonsense. I'm telling you, I'm no
I
nonsense.
am.
No nonsense to me says he don't go back to your house and he don't cause you any more trouble. And if he want to talk to you and y'all have a friendship, call me on the phone. But you're trying to talk yourself back into he's coming back into your house, and then we're
Well,
gonna have the
no, I'm
same
not. I'm
problem.
not. I'm very. I mean, he's been. I'm very content in being there by myself. I've been enjoying myself most definitely. My thing is this. I just didn't want to put him, because I already know he doesn't have any family here. He doesn't have any resources here, and so, and I mean, I do understand. Your Honor, don't look at me like that. I know you hear
It's
all
being
these scenarios at this time, but I am on this is it's
the
strictly
same thing
platonic.
you did to be responsible for yourself. He has that opportunity. He's a grown man. There's jobs out here everywhere you look.
Yeah.
So if he's willing to mow lawns, mix concrete, put up sheetrock, so I mean, skilled and unskilled, there's jobs everywhere. I don't know what you're talking about. So all of this, he don't have no help, and I just feel like I should be his piece. Let him be yours. Why he got to disturb your house? But this is a lecture for another time, because if you feel like you okay, but what I want you to understand is, and this is what my major point is, the police are not here to keep him from breaking up your stuff. They will respond after he breaks up your stuff, but they're not here to make sure things are smooth running while y'all in that place together. So if you invite him back, you run the risk of the same type of behavior, is what I'm saying. The police don't get there. They ain't my police, they everybody's police. They don't get there until after something. So if you're willing to risk that for broke down Mr. Samuel, for a person who is grown and should be able to get themselves on their feet, I don't care if he got to live with 10 people in a flop house while he working 3 different jobs, because he don't look like nothing wrong with him. I mean, he looked like he can do for himself. But if you want to continue to carry a grown man on your back, don't expect that the police are going to be there to keep him from
Well,
breaking.
Your Honor, and I don't know what plans that he may have made after this occurrence. So I mean, if he decides, I just did not want to be told to say, okay, this is just strictly prohibited to have him come back. If he see another
Baby,
opportunity,
if you want him back, you can have him. But what I'm telling you is, when this situation comes up again, he's going to come back before me, and I will remember.
okay.
Okay. So, all right, Mr. Samuel. Anything else, Mr. Taylor? What you thinking?
Your Honor, based on the favorable recommendation that Ms. Ponder gave, We just switched to enter NOLO plea and ask that you accept the recommended sentence.
All right. Mr. Samuel, I'm gonna accept your plea of NOLO. I'll send you to 12 months to serve 30 days. Credit since the date of lockup. Balance will be probated. For you to pay a fine in the amount of $300, the $300 will be suspended. For you to do 40 hours of community service and have no violent or harassing contact with Miss Nitris Beatty. Did I get that right? Baby.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. And upon completion of the 40 hours of community service, and having no violent or harassing contact, then your probation will suspend for the balance. Okay, now, Mr. Samuel, let me talk to you. How old are you, sir?
41.
How?
41.
Okay, so Mr. Samuel, you good and grown. By this time, you shouldn't be relying on some woman to house you. You need to go out there and find you not one, not two, but 3 good jobs, and make you some money and get you a little room and house or someplace to stay. But if you're in somebody else's house and their name is on the lease or the mortgage, you don't get to break up their stuff. You don't get to show out and have a tantrum in somebody else's house. You don't get to be the man in somebody else's house. We got to stop this whole theory of, well, I'm a man. No, if her name is on the lease, it's her house. You have the status of a child in her house because she's paying for it. She got the lease. She's the one taking care of you. So if you want to be a man and throw your weight around, get your own. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't believe in coddling men. I don't. Because I come from a long line of people, and I married a person who they work jobs, they take care of themselves, they take care of the people that they love, their families, their homes, their kids, their wives, and they don't have no trouble standing up and being a man in their home. You can't be the man in somebody else's house. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And if all you have to bring to the table is sex, then you need to start thinking about adding some other stuff. Just add some other stuff. Because she can get that anywhere. I'm just saying. And maybe somebody a little younger. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So just please be mindful. You don't get to throw your weight around in somebody else's house. All right, you can go back with the sheriff's office. All right, Miss Beatty, I hope it works out.
All right. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Watch, we're on the scene. Truths unravel, and what does it mean? In the halls where stories clash, Oouchie court watch quick as a flash.